All right, just got done watching the Clippers and the Rockets. The Clippers finally get their first win in the James Harden era, beating the Houston Rockets 106-100. They did a weird little review at the end of the game, and Kawhi Leonard got fouled and gave him 2 extra free throws. So I'm sure that affected a lot of bets, or either pissed a lot of people off or made a lot of people happy. But either way, really good game. Really just continues to show that the Rockets are going to be one of the tougher teams in the West to play against in the NBA. That game went back and forth. The Rockets looked like they were going to pull away. They were up 5 with about 3 minutes left, and then some really bad half-court execution reared its ugly head. Alperen Sengun got caught near the elbow towards the end of the shot clock, had to give it up to Jabari Smith for a desperate 3 shot clock violation. Jalen Green put the ball on the deck against Kawhi Leonard, and Kawhi Leonard got his paws on the ball. And it led to a Paul George layup to put the Clippers up 1. Alperen Sengun, who has been fantastic all season for the Rockets, only made 1 of 2 free throws to put it at 100 apiece, and it was James Harden who hit the game-winning three-pointer. It was a 4-point play, foul on Jason Tate, and Harden made the free throw to put the Clippers up 4 with about 8 seconds left. But really good win for the Clippers. Really good win for them to at least gain some confidence, because if they had lost this one, oh boy, it would have been 7 games in a row, and Ty Lue said he needed 10 games to figure it out, so it would have been like, okay, what, do you need 15 to figure it out? I think the Clippers still are going to figure some stuff out. I think they'll be fine, but like I said in my initial trade reaction, I just don't see the Clippers beating the Nuggets. But we'll see how they evolve as the season goes along. It's pretty clear that Russell Westbrook is no longer going to be a part of the closing lineups. This was the 3rd game in a row where Russell Westbrook was benched with 5 minutes left in the game. But overall, a good win for the Clippers. 2nd game in a row where it just seemed like they really played hard on the defensive end. But the Rockets, man, I'm really impressed with the Rockets. I mentioned it in my 5 surprises of the early NBA season already, but the Rockets, they have a lot of good players. They have players that make sense. Jabari Smith, 6'10", rangy, can cover up for Alperen Sengun's defensive deficiencies. And even then, Alperen Sengun, he can position himself. He puts his hands up. Verticality. There were a few times where the Clippers would drive to the rim. I remember one time Paul George drove to the rim and Alperen Sengun just put his hands up and Paul George missed a layup. Same with Norm Powell. Sengun can position himself and be kind of the high IQ guy and sort of be at the right place, right time, sort of mask his, slow lateral quickness, but pretty good athlete. Had some nasty posters. He dunked on Zubac. Tari Eason dunked on Daniel Tice. The Rockets just have a lot of good scrappy players. I think they might have the rotation figured out. I really don't see, with how Ime Udoka coaches too, I wonder how Amen Thompson's going to get minutes when he comes back from his ankle injury. But really good Fred VanVleet game. Jalen Green, he was really bad shooting from the field, but it seemed like he took a lot of the right shots. He also got to the free throw line 10 times because just his uber athleticism. There was one time where he just dusted Paul George and got by him for a layup. Also, for the Clippers, let me go back to the Clippers real quick. Ty Lue's going to figure out really quickly, I think, that PJ Tucker, just not somebody you can play. A minus 24 in 14 minutes, in nearly 15 minutes. That's impossible to do, especially if he's not going to shoot his patent in quarter 3. And even then, I'm sure teams at this stage in PJ Tucker's career, they're going to be just fine with him shooting corner 3s. They were also very fine letting Russell Westbrook jack up 3 threes in the 4th quarter, even though he was 1 for 3. But overall, good win for the Clippers. We'll see how they continue. I imagine they're going to win the back-to-back Spurs games, and then we'll see how they look for the rest of the month. But the Clippers are still going to figure some stuff out. Let's bounce around the league a little bit from Friday night's games. The Sacramento Kings were able to go into San Antonio and beat the Spurs on the road. This was also another Friday of the in-season tournament games, and the Spurs were putting it to the Kings in the first quarter. I was only able to watch basically half the game because I had it up on the second screen. I was watching the Sixers, Hawks, and then I have the Cavs, Pistons on my third monitor. But De'Aaron Fox, man, he's taking another leap. Right now, after playing his sixth game tonight, De'Aaron Fox is now averaging 32.2 points per game. He is currently leading the league in scoring. He is shooting 50% from the field, and he is shooting 38% from three on over 8 attempts per game, and averaging 6 assists and nearly 2 steals a game. This guy has been everywhere in the games that he has played. He has mentioned that the ankle injury, that's something he's going to deal with for a bit, but that dude is tough as nails, so he's going to keep playing for his guys. And the Kings are, hot take, the Kings are really good when De'Aaron Fox plays. Plus 10.8 on the season. The Kings are a plus 10.8 when De'Aaron Fox is on the court. And another just great game tonight. 43 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, a block, and only 1 turnover. The guy is just getting comfortable and more comfortable every year, getting to his spots, realizing that he is unguardable. With his speed, he gets from 0 to 100 probably quicker than anybody in the NBA. And with this combination of handle and shiftiness, it's just nasty. Teams cannot stop that. Also, want to give a shout out to his fellow All-NBA player, Domantas Sabonis, who was also really good tonight and was also really good in the Lakers game on Wednesday. 27 points, 14 rebounds, and 7 assists. That's just great production, and once again operating as a hub of a really potent Kings attack. The Kings entering tonight, the Kings were, I think, 15th in offensive rating. They were middle of the road, but obviously that number's going to raise up because De'Aaron Fox is back, and also Domantas Sabonis, he's just going to continue to put up great production and continue to play well. Keegan Murray also, let me highlight him really quick. It's been very clear that Mike Brown is trusting Keegan Murray to always guard the team's best player, and Keegan Murray guarded Keldon Johnson quite a bit tonight. The Spurs did not have Devin Vassell, so the next best perimeter player that can create some stuff off the dribble is Keldon Johnson, and he made him work for his shots. It was 7 of 16, 5 of 9 from 3, and Keldon's not really known as a three-point shooter, so sometimes you just have to tip your cap to Keldon Johnson. But Keegan Murray has made serious strides on that end of the court as well. And for a Kings team that has been looking for answers at who is going to be the defensive wing stopper on the perimeter, Keegan Murray might just develop into one. And then, I know I brought up the Pistons earlier today in my surprise video, but Kevin Knox starting? Fucking really? Really? We're starting Kevin Knox now? We're really doing that? We're really going to ruin Cade Cunningham's development? I am honestly worried for Cade Cunningham and his development. I'm worried for Jaden Ivey. Jalen Duren did not play tonight, but look, Kevin Knox has been playing pretty okay for himself since he signed with the Detroit Pistons 3 games ago. But I'm just confused as to why some of these lineup decisions are being made by Monty Williams. Start Jaden Ivey. See what you got with him. He's clearly a talented player. You wasted a 5th overall pick on him, and I understand that Monty Williams was not there when Jaden Ivey was drafted. But the Pistons are committing malpractice at this point. It's ridiculous that Jaden Ivey's coming off the bench. It's ridiculous that the Pistons keep starting 2 big lineups. And it's ridiculous that the lineup change that they decided to go to was to start Kevin Knox. I just don't get it. Cade Cunningham is operating in a phone booth. Everybody gets on Cade Cunningham's ass for not getting to the free throw line. How is he supposed to get to the free throw line when you're starting 3 non-shooters, meaning Isaiah Stewart, who, look, he has improved stretching the floor. I will give him that. But you guys already know my feelings on starting Isaiah Stewart and Duren together. I like both bigs. They shouldn't start together. Kevin Knox, like I said, has played really well for himself since joining the Pistons. He should not be starting at the power forward spot, especially when Asar Thompson, and look, as somebody who has, as a Sixer fan, as somebody who has repeatedly watched a player for years be afraid to shoot a basketball, I appreciate that Asar Thompson continues to shoot even though he's had a lot of air balls this season. But isn't the three-point line in the Overtime Elite League NBA three-point range? Somebody who watches that league more consistently than me can correct me if I'm wrong, but it is kind of weird that we are seeing a lot of air balls from Asar Thompson, even though he should keep shooting. But you're starting three non-shooters consistently with Cade Cunningham and Killian Hayes, who I know he is a very, not sore topic, but a hot topic among Pistons fans, and he has played a lot better since last season. Like, last season was the best season of his career. He definitely had stretches where he showed some flashes, but I would rather at this point just start Marcus Sasser or Jaden Ivey. You just got to put proper skill sets around Cade Cunningham. And look, that might fix itself when Bojan Bogdanovic eventually comes back and Isaiah Livers comes back, who I actually thought was going to have a big year for the Pistons before he got that high ankle sprain. But even with those players missing, you're doing Cade a disservice by not starting Alec Burks next to Cade Cunningham, not starting Marcus Sasser or Jaden Ivey next to Cade Cunningham. Go with 3-guard lineups and Isaiah Stewart and then Asar Thompson at power forward. Do something. These were not the lineups I was expecting Monty Williams to go with. Going into the season, I thought they should have gone with one center because I know they tried to do the double big shit last year. But like, Marvin Bagley's he's been perfectly fine as the rotational backup center so far this year. But he shouldn't have been starting when Jalen Duren went down. And then the adjustment is to go with Kevin Knox. I just don't understand what the Pistons are doing. They have now lost 10 in a row. In a league, let me mention again, in a league that has the Washington Wizards, which is a walking clown show. It's ridiculous. Cade Cunningham is a special player with a special skill set, and you are completely ruining any confidence or potentially confidence and development with him, because he should be the number one priority. But it is very clear that I don't know what's going on, but it's fucking malpractice. And I know I shouldn't be this mad, and maybe some Pistons fans will disagree with me and hurl the "you don't watch the games" at me, but I do see some Pistons fans online complaining and hurting because they see the same shit. Like, I'm sorry. This is annoying me. I love Cade Cunningham, and I want him to succeed, but the Pistons aren't doing everything they can to put him in that position to succeed, and it's malpractice.